first day of the new month, July 2024, and it's Monday. Starting the month, starting the week.
Oh yeah.
Quite
week,
interesting.
New month, new perspective. Also officially starting the first month of the last 6 months of the year 2024.
The last half of the year.
Yes.
So welcome you to this another edition of the Press Review here on Luntha Television. This is the program that we give you some of the stories that have been published in our daily papers, The Nation, but of course the Daily Times. We just give you very few stories that have been published and give you a chance, in case you have that opportunity to grab your copy, you can read each and everything that has been published. Today, Monday, you are with me, Bernard Mwanza, and my colleague
Tandiwe Mzumara.
I hope you are fine.
I'm okay. Personally, I'm fine.
Personally?
Yes.
Thank you.
I hope you're okay too.
Yeah, I'm fine as well.
Yeah.
So I can give you a chance to start on the front page of the Daily Times, and I'll be taking you through The Nation.
Okay, so as he did say on the front page headline here, top story I would say, another dark moment. That's the headline. Sub-headline, Lucius Banda, 1970 to 2024. I think that on its own is quite self-explanatory. The full story of it, of course, is on the second to the third page. It's about the death of Lucius Banda, who I would say is one of the, I don't know if there's anyone who is alive in Malawi, both old and young, who have not heard or do not know about Lucius Banda. I think for some of us, I mean, in several ways. Yeah, yes. Because he suited in Gafananize Bendi, but he, you know, like as I am saying, okay, why I'm saying that is because the nyimbo zake this many takulira, and what we understood music was supposed to be. There was always a message with him. Every song, there was always a message. Talk about politics, talk about love, talk about the culture. You know. In
other words, he was more into activism.
To some extent,
his songs have been much into activism.
He was an all-rounder.
Yeah, speaking on behalf of the poor people, as you have said as well, the youth and the like.
Whether it's Amurunguzi, so he has sung. So you know, it's sad that we have lost a great artist, but at the same time, I think this is a time that we celebrate his life.
Yeah, I think it's quite milestone that has been achieved out of him, to see how much he has the song that he has produced. If I'm not mistaken, he's produced a lot of albums, and of course, even last year or the other year, he announced his official resignation or official band down to say, no, I think I've done my part. I should leave this to these upcoming artists.
He actually released a total of 20 music albums in his career, which is something that some artists who might have started together with him didn't even get to half of that. So 20 albums tells you a lot. And not just 20 albums, 20 really good selling albums, because every time you hear Lucius Banda album, Lucius Banda nyimbo, you'd be so eager to hear to say because each album had a mixture of everything. And I remember last evening, I would say, when the news broke that he had died, people were quoting his song Yanzimwa Soja to say it's like it was a manifestation of an extent, whereby he said about how when he dies, he does not want people to talk about how maybe that he was famous or know how much he had and all that, but mostly he wanted people to celebrate the good that he has done, to remember that he has done his part and he has contributed to the country Malawi and to people's lives in several ways. So as a Malawi, as country, we are mourning, but we are also celebrating the life of this legend.
Yeah, so he has died in South Africa, where he was receiving medical treatment. Has been there for some months.
Oh yeah, since March.
Due to kidney failure. So that's what has taken his life, the kidney failure. Yes. Well, may his soul
rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Alright, and on the front page of the Nation newspaper, DPP cautioned on Section 65. Party wants Parliament to expel 5 MPs. Matter is a waste of time, as said by experts. Political and governance pundits have cautioned the opposition Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, on its pursuit to have Parliament expel 5 of its legislators using Section 65 of the Constitution for allegedly crossing the floor, while stating that the request to see the resolve of Speaker Catherine Gotanehara on the matter, they have also warned the DPP that the matter will be another waste of time and may shrink its support base. The reactions in several interviews come in the wake of the letter DPP has written to the Speaker to invoke Section 65 of the Constitution, which bars legislators from voluntarily quitting a party that sponsored their ticket and joining another political party represented in the National Assembly. Maybe quickly, the affected legislators are Joyce Chitsulu of Mwanza West, Benedito Chamba of Mangoes North, Esther Majaza of Mchinji North East, Owen Chomanika of Chikwawa North, and Benton Kuntsaira of Lilongwe Msinja North.
You know, it's I like the wonderful Nkuche's comment. His quote says, focus on rebuilding the party. I mean, okay, I understand kuti malamulo amaenda mosiyana, but come on. Sometimes you can tell that this is some sort of a witch hunting thing, you know, because why being so dramatic? No, let's be real. Why? I mean, has this ever happened before? I mean, I think zima takutega, like, right, even though the ticket that they won through doesn't that happen within?
It happens.
Why isn't that the right?
So I think, you know, issues to do with the law are very critical, whether they happen or not. But as long as law is still there, anytime someone wishes to apply that law on something, you can take it.
It gets tricky. So they might actually be found in the wrong.
Yeah, so that's why the experts here are saying maybe it's high time the DPP must focus on rebuilding the party without necessarily wasting time on such things, because for this to be achieved, it takes time as well. For the justice in such matters to prevail, it may take time. So yes, there is law that has to be applied on such people, but then at the same time, we can focus on what is close to us. What do we have to do to make sure that we are progressing well? So that's why maybe there is that advice to say maybe just focus on rebuilding the party. Otherwise, you'll be wasting time.
So many other important things that we have to do. It
on.
actually feels like a personal attack.
You see?
Like maybe they feel like they're losing members, you know. But anyways, to each their own. A headline here on the fifth page, hunger on dangerous trajectory, says FAO. Part of the story reads, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, has warned that global hunger is on a dangerously rising trajectory. FAO Director General Q Dong-yu says achieving a sustainable and food-secure world requires not just economic policy measures, but strong political and social commitment. And of course, he issued the warning on Thursday at a high-level session during the global review of aid for trade hosted by the World Trade Organization in Geneva.
All right, you're watching the press review here on Luntha Television today, Monday, the 1st of July, 2024. You're with me, Bernard Mwanza, and my colleague,
Tandy Wemzumara.
So we are taking you through what has been published in the national newspaper, but of course, the Daily Times. We'll be back shortly.
Luntha Television stands as an autonomous faith-based broadcaster with a national and international reach. Experience the difference with Luntha Television, where innovation meets experience. Our dedicated team backed by cutting-edge technology, ensures seamless execution and unparalleled results. Luntha guarantees credibility and professionalism in all its endeavors: singles, music videos, narratives, documentaries, press services and programs, on location or outside, live broadcasting of mass and other church functions, government or indoor functions and political rallies, creation and broadcasting of special programs, sponsored content, sports and entertainment, and advertising for small, medium and large enterprises. All services are offered at competitive prices. Tune in daily to catch Luntha Television on Zuko on Channel 51, Starsat Channel 474, Star Times Channel 474, Topstar 474, Kriye 007, GoTive 055. Come, let us help you grow your business.
Welcome back today to today's edition of Press Review, and of course before we went on that break we covered some of the stories. Moving on to business news, a headline here reads Malawi and others to benefit from $2.48 billion World Bank project. Now, part of the story reads that expectations are high that the country's foreign exchange position will be enhanced following revelations that Malawi will be among 15 countries to benefit from the World Bank's $2.48 billion inclusive digitalization in Eastern and Southern Africa IDEA program. So the whole inclusive digitalization, does that remind you of something we were talking about? I can just later made me smile, but I think this is good news.
Yes.
Among 15 countries, there's so many countries in the world, but Malawi being part of that is really something. And all I can say is that I really hope that this money will be used for what it is intended for.
The intended purpose.
That people should actually see. Kuti bandama ija 2.48 billion, obviously si kuti Malawi apatsira 2.48 billion ndama imeneyo ndiyopita kuma 15 countries yondori aigawa, but still that's a huge portion when mukaiganizira kumalawi kunoko ndiye kuti that's maybe somewhere around 5-8. I mean, I know that that's not the amount that's coming to Malawi.
Yes.
When you translate that to Malawi kwacha, that should be heading towards 5 trillion Malawi kwacha.
500 billion kandi 1 trillion kandi 100 billion ni rama zambiri kandi 50 billion ni rama zambiri zimene Malawi ngabizira yapindula nawo. So I think kanyawo ndimene kuti zikabwera ndalamazo zikambogira ntchito yoyene kuti
zigwinchiro
chino yoyene kuti oneke kuti amene akwina kupindulawo apinduledi chifukwaso kuti athandizire kuti nthawi ina akazafunanso kuti ayi tikapanga extend project
azakhala ngopitiriza pamene
akaone kuti akuti ndi akuti adapindula.
I mean, we're talking about digitalization anyways. Masiku anowa anthu tikupita kwambiri towards technology, so it's really important. Yes.
All right, former finance minister tips treasury on debt. The former finance minister of finance Joseph Mwanamveka has urged Treasury to push for other options to bring public debt to a sustainable trajectory. In a written response on Thursday, he said debt restructuring does not change or affect overall debt, but only reduces monthly repayments and lengthen the period over which the debt will be repaid. Minister of Finance spokesperson Williams Banda said several official creditors already provided the government with a confirmation of agreement to the proposed restructuring terms, while constructive discussions are taking place in good faith with the others. Meanwhile, the government of Malawi has signed an agreement with China for the restructuring of 206 million US dollars, which is about 361 billion Malawi kwacha debt. Kandi ndofuna kukhazikitsa ndithu ndondomeko zabwino khani zokudza ngongole zomwe Malawi ili nazo ndi mabungwe komanso maiko akunja.
Unfortunately, we do not have international news in the Daily Times, so you can
But in the national newspaper, Kenyan activists call for Ruto Risk Nation. The Kenyan activists on Friday renewed calls for fresh protests, strikes and sit-ins to demand President William Ruto's Risk Nation despite withdrawing the controversial Finance Bill 2024 that led to deadly protests last week. Reuters reported that some protesters felt the withdrawal came late and went on to circulate a pamphlet that was shared widely online calling for 7 days of activism.
I mean, it's been really messy in Kenya. People have died. Last I checked, about over 20 people died. And it was rather sad.
And the reports were also suggesting that the figures may be higher than that.
For some people, they seem to have been abducted.
Yeah, there were other reports saying about 127 people in another area were also affected.
It might be higher because some people are missing. So whether those people who are missing are still alive or not is not something that is known
really
at the moment.
Sad situation. It was really sad situation. But basically, the young people, because majority of the protesters were young or are young people.
Young people, yes.
So,
the youth, actually over half of them are the youth.
Yes, so they are trying to fight for their rights in the first place, but of course
now it has led to the calling of resignation. That they want the president to
all they
resign.
want is a better environment, a better country, a better living standards.
Yes.
So
all I would say on this, I feel like government could have handled it better, because I think had it been handled way before people started dying, I don't think by now people are calling for the resignation of the president, because they're calling for it because they feel like he's to blame for the people that have died. Not that I'm saying that he's not or that he is, but they feel like this situation could have been handled better, and the president did not handle it better, which means that he's not fit to be a leader. And it's such a tough situation to be in, really. I think all I can say is I hope everything works out well. Yes. Arts and culture. I'll take one. Koluvi Festival pulls huge audience. The annual free of charge Koluvi Arts and Cultural Festival showed its fourth step at Nsanja Prison Ground, attracting a massive audience that relished a buffet of traditional dances, comedy, music performances, and local food. The three-day event opened on Friday before the climax on Saturday, with most of the traditional leaders in the Shire Valley missing out. Wow. I mean, you can see on the picture here, people went, they patronized the event. I mean, entertainment is important, yes.
And another entertainment story here, Jetu Zeze set Melrose Park ablaze. Amapiano sensation Jetu and Zeze Kingston on Saturday thrilled patrons at Melrose Park, located in the outskirts of capital city, Lilongwe. During the show, dubbed Zeze vs. Jetu, the Amapiano stars attracted hundreds of their fans that came from different locations around the city to witness the performances.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because, I mean, Jetu has been on fire. I think just to say,
last week we were talking about she just returned from South Africa.
Yes.
Now she had this show.
And actually before, when she had just returned from South Africa, she performed about 3 shows. I think one was in Chikwawa, the other one was in Ponela, and the other one must have been in Kota. So since she came back from South Africa, this must be the 4th or the 5th, or maybe even more than that. Yes, but I mean, like we've always said, congratulations to her. It's really great to see. Backpage Sports. That's a local scene. High flying silver. Sub-headlines: as Nomad's resurgence continues. Silver 0, Silver 2, Tigers 1, Wanderers 2. Part of the story: Silver Strikers are living their dream, having made one of the best starts to the TNM Super League in 5 seasons. And yesterday, the Central Bankers showed a great character as they dispatched Civil Service United 2-0 in a Lilongwe Derby at Civil Stadium to extend their lead at the summit of the 16-member log table to 8 points after 11 matches. I must say, Silver Strikers this season,
yes,
kwambili, really.
Let's hope Emino Ibidilila
I mean, it's safe to say that it already is, because they've been doing the most. They really have, and it's really impressive.
Well, Scotch has dealt blow as 4 nations tourney flops. Malawi national women's football team has been dealt a blow after plans to hold a 4 nations tournament involving Malawi, Mozambique, Zambia and Zimbabwe flopped. Mozambique were supposed to host the tournament during the July 8th to 16th FIFA Women's International window. Football Association of Malawi Farm Competitions and Communications Director Gumizani Zakazaka confirmed in an interview that the tournament will not take place.
Okay.
That's it in as far as the sport